I would like to take a moment to do a brief video on what arithmetic sequences are. An arithmetic sequence is any sequence where the difference between consecutive terms is the same. What does that tell us? Well, if we had a sequence, and here we have a sequence, very boring sequence, and don't even know the values of it. Of course, our sequence would keep going. But if we took any of those consecutive terms and we subtracted them, we would get a value for the difference between those terms. If we did that, and no matter which consecutive terms we subtracted, we kept getting the same value, then this would be considered an arithmetic sequence. As long as that value d stays the same. Okay? And if it stays the same, we ought to give it a name. So we give that d a name, and it's called the common difference. As in the difference that each of those consecutive terms share. Anytime you're dealing with an arithmetic sequence, it could be written in this format. Okay? Where we took, we took the first term and we added n minus 1 times the common difference to that first term to get any term that we wanted. If we put this one into that formula real quick, we first need to know what that common difference is. That common difference is going to be taking any two consecutive terms and subtracting them. We should be able to find this no matter which two consecutive terms we pick. We get our common difference to be 3. We also know that our first term is 2. So we can very quickly come up with our formula, a sub n equals 2 plus n minus 1 times 3. Sometimes you'll want to simplify that, and instead of leaving it like this, where you can see kind of what each piece is, you could distribute the 3 and get a 2 plus a 3n minus 3, or get your a sub n term to equal a 3n minus 1. Now, whichever of those two that you pick, we can now find out what a sub 10 is. If we plug in our a sub 10, we have a 2 plus a 10 minus 1 times a 3. Or if you think about it this way, you're going to start at 2 for your first term, and to get to the 10th term, you're going to need to add 9 common differences. That's how that formula works. And that's how we find out that a sub 10 is 29.